In today's video, we'll visit Walnut Canyon National Monument, Twin Arrows, the old and the new, the Two Guns Ghost Town. We'll even make a wrong turn onto the original and now decaying Route 66. Also, the Meteor Crater and the abandoned Meteor City Trading Post. We'll stand on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, while we get our kicks on old Route 66. All that and more coming up next.
I'm riding with my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV.
Well, good morning from the Black Bart's RV Park here in Flagstaff, Arizona. They do have a steakhouse, but I didn't go last night. And well, today we continue east, getting our kicks on Route 66.
Riding in my RV.
Here we are on the Mother Road, and the first point of interest we're going to visit is Walnut Canyon National Monument.
Well, here we are, Walnut Canyon National Monument.
The museum inside depicts the life of the Sinagua people.
Walnut Canyon National Monument.
Oh, here's the loop trail. Well, this one is called the Island Trail. It takes about an hour, she said. It's about a mile. So let's check it out. Very nice.
These, by the way, were the same cliff-dwelling people who inhabited Montezuma Castle in the Verde Valley, which I visited a couple of days ago. The Sinagua, in Spanish, the people without water, lived in this area sometime before the year 1250. But it is almost impossible to know with certainty how they lived, because they left no written language. Their history has been pieced together by examining objects and comparing them with other prehistoric groups, and through the oral traditions of the Hopi, which are most likely descendants of the Sinagua.
Ponderosa pine. Well, if you If you notice a slight difference in quality or lack thereof in this video compared to the previous videos in this series, that's because, I don't know if I told you, but I broke my good camera back in Sedona. So I went to Best Buy, bought a relatively inexpensive Canon Vixia just to finish the trip, and then we'll see what we do. This is pretty cool. We're at Walnut Canyon, and I'm gonna compensate for the perhaps lack of quality, only 1080p for now, with I'm gonna make all the videos 60 frames per second, so the fast movement, it looks smoother on the screen. Let me know what you think. It is a beautiful place here. If these walls could talk. A lot of it is reconstructed, you know that. I mean, I do like the fact that it is smaller than my other camera, but then the viewfinder quality is not the same, the dynamic range is not the same, the stabilization is definitely not the same, and it is not 4K. But the autofocus is faster, and we'll see how accurate the colors really are. Well, anyways, check out all the cliff dwellings here. The sunny side, the south side of the canyon. Vegetation is different. And there, you see there's still snow on the ground. We'll check it out. There's another dwelling there on the other side of the canyon. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go all the way back there. I'm starting to get a little out of breath here. We're almost at 7,000 feet above sea level.
Well, yes, it is a beautiful canyon. Although we must continue soon. Check out the San Francisco peaks in the distance.
Well, there is another trail that goes along the rim. But if I want to make it to Albuquerque today, I gotta keep going. Oh, look at that.
Route 66 is nearly non-existent in this area, so it is going to be I-40 for the most part. Still, we're going to see some points of interest along the way. Here, for example, we encountered Twin Arrows. It was originally a trading post, now abandoned. Apparently it closed down in 1998, and even though the building sits in ruins, the two arrows were restored by the Hopi tribe and Route 66 enthusiasts back in 2009.
This was probably part of a diner. Yes, it is completely abandoned. Check out the kitchen. Completely abandoned and probably unsafe to be in here, to be honest about it. Check out that roof.
It is a sad reality that a lot of structures sit like this along the side of the road, not only on Route 66, other roads as well. Sometimes I fail to see the quote-unquote historic value of keeping something like this in such decay. But that's just me.
This is the building I was just in. It was called the Twin Arrows Trading Post. Right here they have like a garage. And that's your Twin Arrows and the very famous Minitini.
Let's go to the modern Twin Arrows Casino for breakfast.
Well, this is actually one of the places that I had considered last night for overnighting. Here we have a nice Thor Ace, and this is the Twin Arrows Casino. It is kind of here in the middle of nowhere. Hello there. Well, this is called the Four Elements Cafe. Well, here's my Navajo breakfast. Check out this lamp. Oh, what a mess. I guess this cabinet opened and all my stuff went on the floor.
Well, yeah, that was probably that bump on the road I hit when I was entering the casino.
This is the ghost town of Two Guns. Well, this is what remains of old Route 66 in this area. This is the ghost town called Two Guns. Yep.
This here was all part of a zoo that had mountain lions and other Arizona native animals. In fact, after the late 1920s, when Route 66 first passed through here, this became a full-blown tourist trap. Here, in these chicken wire cages, is where they kept the mountain lions. They also had something called the Apache Death Cave, which is still here somewhere nearby. To make a long story short, the town was always riddled with bad luck, which some called a curse, and all that ended with a fire in 1971. Here's what remains of the gas station. Probably not too safe to be walking around here, but I'm going to do it anyways, in the interest of historical research, I guess.
Let's go. It's a suspicious looking van here.
Talking about a curse, I had the great idea to try to continue on Route 66. It looked like a normal road on Google Maps, and since I was trying to save data, I neglected to check the satellite map. Yeah, big mistake.
Well, this is what remains of old Route 66. Not very well maintained these days. We're running almost parallel to I-40.
At the beginning, it actually looked like a relatively well-maintained dirt road, so I kept going. Soon, it became evident I had made a mistake, as the road became virtually non-existent. And since it had fences on both sides, there was no room to make a U-turn. Trust me, I did try, but no, couldn't make it. I also tried driving backwards, but I had driven too long a distance. It would have been extremely difficult to make it back. I was really in a pinch here. I was getting desperate at this point, so I decided to try something radical, like backing into one of the fences until I actually pushed it a little bit, and then back and forth again and again, patiently. Eventually, I was able to make that U-turn and return back to safety. Let's make sure Minitini is still in one piece though.
Okay, let's not do that again.
Our next stop is the Meteor Crater.
Oh, bummer.
By the way, they do offer RV parking.
I'm here with all the other RVs. There's even a Phoenix cruiser. Okay, I guess I won't be flying the drone here. Well, according to them, they're running a special today for $11. It's usually $18. And your America the Beautiful pass is no good here. This is privately owned, so one thing to note. Here we are. Here they have an Apollo test capsule. The mountain is beautifully framed. American Astronaut Hall of Fame. Starting with Alan B. Shepard, of course. Kind of does look like a painting, doesn't it? Until you move, it moves with you. Well, it's a nice view, for sure.
Until the early 20th century, the crater was actually believed to be volcanic in origin, but further testing and science has proven that it was formed by a meteor impact about 50,000 years ago. It was a 150 feet wide meteorite that created this huge crater, 700 feet deep and 4,000 feet across.
Is it worth $11 to see this hole on the ground? Well, only you can be the judge of that. It's pretty cool. For me, being a kind of a fan of these celestial things, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go to the lower platform and then we continue towards Albuquerque. We're late.
At one point in history, they tried excavating and drilling in an effort to find the meteor, but it is nowadays believed to have disintegrated on impact.
Okay, it's time to continue.
We continue due east on I-40, which, as you can see in this area, has completely replaced Route 66. Our next point of interest, what remains of the Meteor City Trading Post.
Well, here's another abandoned structure here in an old Route 66, and this is the Meteor City Trading Post. They have these TVs here. Let's see what they look like inside. They don't look like much. It's all abandoned, as you can see.
dating back to 1938. The trading post finally closed its doors in 2012, and it has been vandalized and in ruins ever since.
Let's continue. Albuquerque is that way. Okay, next stop, Winslow, Arizona.
Here we are, arriving by that famous corner in Winslow, Arizona, immortalized by the Eagles and their 1972 hit Take It Easy. Let's find parking.
Well, here we are, standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. This is not the correct corner though, we have to turn around here. Well, it's a thing.
Yep, the corner store is blasting Eagles music in a loop. And I do believe the song talks about a flatbed Ford. Well, there it is.
Oh, here I am standing on the famous corner in Winslow, Arizona with the Eagles and the famous red pickup truck, of course. Check it out. Standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. And they're playing the Eagles at the store. Hotel California, wrong song, but anyway. Well, there's certainly milk in this corner for all it's worth, huh?
We continue. Here's the Cholla power plant near Joseph City. We are going towards Holbrook, another historic Route 66 town. This is also the gateway to the Petrified Forest National Park, which I really wanted to visit, but I made the mistake of making a reservation in Albuquerque, so we have to make it there at some point today. And time's running out. At least I found this place with all this petrified wood.
I'm not gonna make it to a Petrified Forest National Park, but they have some petrified wood here. It's like crystallized. Alright, and this guy here, this store, they have a lot of petrified wood. But as always, I miscalculated time, and I have to be in Albuquerque because I have a reservation, although I'm gonna be late. Already called the KOA for a late checking. that, we say goodbye to Arizona. And welcome to Nuevo Mexico.
Welcome to New Mexico.
New Mexico Welcome Center. Well, got a nice road map. I'm gonna take a picture right here and make some coffee and continue on the road.
We're going to pass by one last town here, Gallup, New Mexico, before it gets dark. Here we are, El Rancho being one of the more recognizable landmarks. We're actually just going to cruise along this section of Route 66 here in Gallup, one of the towns actually mentioned in the famous song about Route 66. We're gonna arrive to Albuquerque at night, which is not my favorite thing, but yeah, we saw a lot today. It's a beautiful area around here. As night falls, we continue pushing east towards Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we are going to visit let me see, Walter White, Los Pollos Hermanos. We're gonna take the Sandia Peak tram. We're gonna visit the Museum of Nuclear Power, among other things. If you have enjoyed traveling with us, make sure you are subscribed and check out my other videos. Also, share it with your friends, spread the word, and leave me a comment. Now, if you really liked it, you have a chance to show your support at patreon.com/travelingrobert. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.